Travelers, Prinston Hicks coming to you from this universe, and today what I want to talk about is the idea of excuses and not making excuses. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a bit biased here, and because I just feel like a lot of times when I hear people make excuses, that they just sound a little bit soft to me. And what I mean by that, a lot of people may take offense to that, but what I mean is that a lot of the excuses that people have are really not that serious. I mean, when you think about some of the things that are going on in the world today, you think about the little problems we face every day. So you don't want to go pick up a phone and call somebody. So you don't want to work hard. Oh, you may have to work 10 hours. You may have to work 12 hours. And you find that difficult. You find that difficult to work a little bit more time instead of just getting up and getting it done. So I tell everybody all the time that I'm a person who doesn't like to make excuses. Now, of course, nothing's ever easy for anybody who tries to accomplish something outside the commonplace. But what does it mean, or what does it matter if you make an excuse about it? I've had a lot of friends around me in my lifetime, and one of the key reasons that I just seem to disconnect with them is because they start making excuses for their situation in life. But me, I've always felt like that if I put in enough time and enough work, that I'd be able to get to that higher level. And I haven't seen that to be inconsistent at any time, because think about it. Consistency every day allows us to get from point A to point B. If you get up and you work towards something every day and you perfect it every day, you build upon it every day, then what's the natural conclusion of that? What can be said to, what do you think? Let's just take a scenario. Let's take one person. One person, all they do is they sit at home and they complain. They go to the job, it's a shitty job, and they go to it and they just complain. They complain that their boss it's not the right job, it's not the right situation, it's not what they need in life. And the reason is because maybe their parents gave them a bad upbringing. Maybe they grew up in a bad neighborhood. Maybe they grew up in the hood. Maybe they grew up in a trailer park. Maybe your parents weren't that supportive of you. But I guess you're the only person ever in the world who had parents that weren't supportive, that ever grew up in the hood, that ever grew up in poverty. And you make an excuse like this is the reason you can't succeed. Now, of course, we know, and if you've ever studied any successful people, that all these excuses have been overcome. So when I hear an excuse, when I hear people making excuses, all I think to myself is, why? What's the purpose? You think that this is somehow going to help you? So this person, they get up, they complain every day, and day after day, year after year, they just complain. They never really take action and try to step outside their comfort zone. Key word here, comfort zone. What they're comfortable with. Because a lot of people think comfort zone is doing extreme things, like you have to jump off a cliff or something, or some crazy shit. But when actually, the comfort zone is just things you don't normally do. So if you've never worked past 5 hours in a day, working 7 hours could be outside your comfort zone. And people get into the comfort zone of living a menial life. And what's scary about this is they don't want to live this life. So why do they keep doing it? Now let's think about this. This person lives this life year after year after year. And at the end of their life, they make all these excuses. They never achieve what they want. They blame circumstances. And then they live an old, decrepit life full of angst, anger, regret, and hostility. But what about the person on the other end? What about the person who gets up, no matter what their circumstances, they could be living in a shack. They could be living in the back of the car. They could be homeless. Hell, they could be living in a third world country probably. And they get up every day and take consistent action. Would they not see some progress? Would they not see even the inkling of progress? Would their life be different every day if they chose to continuously take action? Now, when you think about this, when you look at this, you look at anybody I've ever seen, friends, people I've seen, even like people do YouTube. I've seen people come from the bottom and they just consistently take action day after day. People talked about them, people criticized them, people didn't really believe in the journey or what they were doing, but they still kept taking action. So a lot of times when I tell people, when I talk to friends, I say massive action is key. Massive action is the absolute key. Now, of course, you can take action. You can take a certain amount of action, and that's going to get you a certain place. But I'm talking about massive amounts of action, the type of action that other people just won't do it. If you go to a networking event, you walk into a crowd of people and you introduce yourself and you throw your idea out there, people probably will reject you, but who's going to do that? Who's going to take that amount of action? I got a good friend, you all know him, Willpower, promotion. I've seen this guy go to the club and kill it. He's just talking to people, talking to guys, talking to girls, all these type of people, getting them out to the club. That's massive amounts of action. And those who take massive amounts of action day after day, consistently, and they don't make excuses for their situation, those are the people who get ahead. Those are the people who get success. Now, of course, I know there's some drastic situations. There's situations that are much worse than the situations I've come from. So I'm not discounting the idea that there are things that are sometimes seemingly unfair. However, you can't be defined by that. And that's why when I look at it, I don't really look at what excuses. Because who gives a shit about your excuses? Nobody. And if you try to take excuses and make them the reason you don't succeed, you'll find yourself stagnant. You'll stay stagnant for the rest of your life. I've seen it so many times. It's one of the key reasons that I went into business for myself, because I remember sitting around and talking to people and them saying they're 45, 50 years old, and they go, you know what? I wish I would have pursued my dreams. Somebody asked me, why did I leave school? I said, to pursue my dreams. And a lot of people said, that's crazy. You're going outside the norm. But I did it because I didn't want to be somebody who was sitting there 30, 40, 50 years old, full of regret, saying, I wish I had followed my dreams. I can stand to fail. I can stand to lose in the attempt of doing what I want to do. But what I can't stand to do is sit back and let life pass me by making excuses. Like and subscribe for more. This is just a thought.